What movements do you believe, if they exist, all people should include in their weekly routine, someplace, when thinking about how to develop, perhaps maintain, but for most people, it's going to be the goal of still achieving some strength.
Okay.
Strength increase, excuse me.
I think there has to be a very low quantity of exercises, just very few exercises you want to focus on. And I'm going to give you some options to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So what we try to do at Strong First in my company, my School of Strength, is we try to provide people with various simple, very low-tech, high-concept ways of addressing, reaching their needs. Because for one reason or another, for this individual, the barbell is the preferred tool. For another, it's the kettlebell or body weight or something else. So I'm not going to say that if you don't do kettlebell swings or barbell squats, you'll never amount to anything. That's just not true. But you can pick some events. So you definitely ought to do something for your posterior chain. You absolutely do. If we are looking at the barbell, I would start out with the narrow sumo deadlift.
So this is narrow grip, but
not narrow grip, pardon me, but your stance is just wide enough to let your arms through. Your arms stay parallel to each other. Mm-hmm. And so you just find a very comfortable stance for yourself. So Professor McGill has been in your podcast. He explained to you about the different hip architecture and so on. So you have to find whatever works for you. And when people talk about functional strength training, and then they start standing on a ball and juggle oranges, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because that doesn't look like my life or yours probably, right? But if you have to get a heavy bag of groceries or something, you got to deadlift. And the narrow sumo deadlift, so if you look at powerlifters, classic example would be Ed Cohn. That's a narrow stance sumo. I'm not talking about wide sumo. That's a very sport-specific event. And you practice that first. You learn how to hip hinge. It's extremely important to learn how to hip hinge. Again, Stuart stressed that how important it is for your back health and for your longevity. So you learn to do that. Then whether you decide to pursue the deadlift or not, if you decide not to pursue high numbers in the deadlift, maybe it's not appropriate for you, or maybe you like in the coaching, fantastic exercise for everybody is a Zercher squat.